The Presidential Traverse is an epic thru hike that crosses New Hampshire's highest peaks. For decades, it's served Appalachian Trail thru hikers, day adventurers, and people just like us who are doing the Traverse over 3 days. It's home to both world-class views and stunning alpine hiking, but also some of the most dangerous, unpredictable weather recorded in modern history. This is a video documenting our 3-day journey through this magnificent mountain range. Good morning, folks. It is just about 5 a.m. in the morning and we are on the trail. It's definitely one of those surreal moments where, you know, you've had this trip planned for months and months, and then as it sneaks up you slowly get more excited. But I wasn't truly fired up until we were at the parking lot and I put the backpack on my back. That's when it really felt like this is happening. We passed a couple guys who were descending from the summit. They were telling us the weather's real bad up past the tree line. The wind up there is a pretty consistent 60 miles an hour with gusts up to 80. The first thing we're gonna hit up there past the tree line is one of the proper huts they have on the trail. So we'll be able to go inside, have shelter, and then figure out what our next move will be. Look at this sign. The area ahead has the worst weather in America. Many have died there from exposure, even in the summer. Turn back now if the weather is bad. It's definitely nasty up here. Look at that fog just whipping through. The Madison Springs hut appeared before us like a mirage. One created by the northeast wind and rain rather than a hot desert. Originally built in 1888, this hut is the oldest in the White Mountains. There are 8 just like it throughout these peaks, built strategically in intervals to shelter through hikers. Inside was one of the most unique social experiences I've ever had. You had people from all walks of life doing all kinds of different adventures, from people doing the entire AT to hikers out on a day trip. But everybody there was united by one thing: a love for the outdoors and a pretty steep hike up. Soon, the weather cleared, and after coffee and a few games of crib, we were back on the trails. Conditions are a lot better. It's not so much wet anymore, just low visibility and still very windy. But check it out. Up there's Mount Madison, which is our first peak of 13 on this hike. The ascent of Mount Madison proved to be one of my favorites from the whole trip. The wind and the clouds whipping around us was an incredible feeling, and getting the occasional glimpse of the mountains around us was something that I'll never forget. Textbook fall summit situation. We were climbing, looking at this peak thinking that was it. It's actually past it back here. Yeah, it's a peak right here. Very windy, incredibly windy. We're gonna officially summit Mount Madison. So that is our route up and over, I believe that's Mount Adams right here. So we're going up and over that to our campsite somewhere on the other side. And over there, behind all the clouds, is Mount Washington. So now we're back on the actual through hike route, and our next ascent is Mount Adams. We're a little bit higher than we were back on Madison, and different vibe, that's for sure. It's colder and darker. Thankfully everything's pretty dry, very windy obviously, so we're just gonna play it safe. For now it's alright, but definitely be keeping an eye on the weather. about to officially summit Mount Adams. It is 12 o'clock. Not too bad considering we had to hunker down for an hour plus this morning. The summit up there on Mount Adams was totally socked in. I learned that term from a hiker we passed, and I'm gonna steal it, I think. So this is Thunderstorm Junction. Really cool spot. There's so many trails all through the range, but a whole bunch of them kind of convene right here. So we came down Mount Adams up there, Mount Washington this way, and then a few trails going down this side of the mountain too. We just summited Mount Abigail Adams, and from here you actually have a really good view of our route that we did today. So we started at the road all the way down here, hiked up that ridge. So from there, we hiked up Mount Madison, past Quincy Adams, which is this little peak here, and then up and over Mount Adams here. And now we've come down here to the summit of this little peak, and now we're going up and over to our campsite down there somewhere, closer to the tree line. Well, this is the biggest ouchie I've had in a long time while hiking. Somehow I've been pretty good lately. I'm a pretty clumsy person, but no accidents in a while until now. Just whacked it on a giant rock. Highly recommend finding yourselves one of these girlfriend things. They're pretty great. All right, let's have a little look around. So here's the main lean-to that you can sleep in if you want to. Bunch of platforms in here too. Somebody grabbed this one already. I think there's one way up there that we're gonna grab. Welcome to our home for tonight. So this campsite's called the Perch for a reason. These platforms are all just perched up on the side of the mountain. I'm admittedly pretty horrible at setting tents up on platforms. I just kind of took the cord from the flies and just wrapped it around a whole bunch of hooks and stuff. So it feels pretty solid. I don't think that's going anywhere. We were tipped off about a cool little look off just a little ways down the trail. So we're gonna head on down and check that out. Savea and I have been together for over a year now, over which we have crammed in countless trips and adventures. The beauty in doing adventures with anyone is that you get to know them very well, very quickly, regardless of your relationship with them. And something that I've come to learn about her is that she's easily the most loving, funny, caring, talented, and intelligent person I've met. Not to mention, really pretty. I bought a ring months before this trip, and I've carried it during many adventures since then, just in case the right moment came. But I knew now, with the sun setting over the mountains, that this was our time. Cannot believe how cold it was last night. It was absolutely freezing. You could see your breath. I don't know the exact temp. I think it's probably around 4 degrees Celsius, but it feels way colder. My hands are just numb from doing the tent and everything. But at breakfast on the go, got coffee, so we're feeling good. And I've never been so excited for a day of hiking in my entire life. So there's a ridge here separating us from Jefferson. There's 2 ways to traverse it. There's some folks kind of midway down the ridge right here going, or you can go all the way up here and go right along the top, which is what we're gonna do. Finally have our first perfect view of Mount Washington. That's gorgeous. Couldn't ask for a more perfect day up in the mountains right now. This is absolutely incredible. So we have one more peak to summit before we get to Mount Washington, and that would be Mount Clay. A couple options here. You can bypass Clay by going to the right. We're heading left. Obviously we're gonna summit. You can't not summit. I mean, you can, and that's actually totally fine, but we want to. We're doing pretty good for time. We're well past Jefferson, and it's 9:30, so we're doing great. Here we are, about to summit Clay. Got Clay right there behind us now. All that's left before Washington is a little stretch of ridge, and then we do our biggest summit of the trip. This has by far been my favorite hiking trip I've ever done. Nothing is really close yet, honestly. And I've been extremely privileged to have done some amazing trips, all memorable in their own way. But mountains are my favorite thing in the world, and I've yet to hike mountains like these. And certainly none taller than the one we are climbing right now. Here on the side of the tallest mountain in the northeastern United States, I couldn't help but to think of how significant this beautiful place is. But not in the context of modern history, rather those who were here before. Agiokochuk was its name long before the concept of presidents. It means the home of the Great Spirit. This mountain's prominence, along with dangerous, unpredictable weather, lends itself well to being a dwelling place for the gods. The packed summit, however, brought me back to reality. It's a conflicting thing. That's nuts. Something about having mountains of this stature so commercialized feels odd. But also, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have had this much needed greasy pizza. So we have to descend, go to the Lake of the Clouds hut right here, and that first peak you see is Mount Monroe, so you have to traverse that and then pretty much cross all the other peaks you see after that. Alright, we are about halfway-ish up Mount Monroe. We were all the way up there not too long ago. It's a hot day. All right, so that was Mount Monroe. You can see kind of our route the rest of the way. Slowly making our way down these mountains. It's kind of funny, all the big peaks are behind us. Every peak's gonna be shorter than the last basically, but yet somehow at the same time, this is, I think, the most beautiful section of trail. Last two summits of the day right behind me here. This here closest one is Eisenhower, and then just down behind it back here is Pierce. We're so close to our campsite tonight. We have probably under 2K at this point. We just have to get up and over Mount Pierce, and then right at the bottom of the descent on the other side is our site. Mount Pierce. Just doing a little sock bath. This is a clean sock, don't worry. Let me tell you guys about our living situation here, because it's a unique setup, I guess. So basically along this trail, you have 3 different types of places to sleep, I guess. So you have huts, like what we have here at this campground and what you saw on day 1 when we got pinned down by the weather. And basically there, it's all included, I guess. So you have bunks with bedding, they prepare meals for you. And then there's cabins, which are the same as the huts, but slightly more stripped back. So you have to get your own bedding, there's no food, but you still get a bunk, there's water, bathrooms. And then you have tent sites, which is just platforms. So this is a combination of a hut and platforms. Real busy here tonight. The hut's totally full. The platforms are all full. We're really fortunate right now. I don't want to jinx this. Basically, every other platform Good night, everybody. Definitely a rewarding feeling being almost done, but also a little bittersweet because I think this will be a trail high that I'm chasing for a while. This is by far the best. It's just the best adventure we've had yet, I think. She's signing an agreement. Anyway, trip's not over yet. Still some work to do in the morning, so we'll talk more then. Good night. We got pretty lucky this morning with the weather. It's going to be a rain day today, and it was supposed to start a lot earlier than it is, so very grateful to have a beautiful morning. So our plan for today is a lot shorter of a day. We're gonna hike down to Mount Jackson, and then we're out to the Highland Center. And then from there, we're just gonna grab a shuttle back to the other trailhead. I think it's like 7K-ish on the day. And with the summit of Mount Jackson, we have hit all the peaks we set out to hit. That is an amazing feeling. We got super lucky with getting up here without any crazy weather. There's some nasty looking stuff over here. Back this way is the Presidentials. Looks pretty clouded in right now, so we do have some weather coming, but we made it. Made it without anything too bad.
Oh gosh, I look ugly. Why does my face look like that?
And as much as I wanted to hike right back up into the mountains, this was a wonderful way to end the trip. As rain began to pour down outside, we enjoyed hot food, coffee, and the time to reflect on the past few days. And before long, we were loaded up into the shuttle, and we were en route back to the starting point. These mountains will forever hold a special place in my heart, for a lot of different reasons. And like any good trip should, it leaves you dreaming of the next big adventure. This is why Svea is the absolute best. She had the brilliant idea of pre-hike, grabbing some cold drinks, putting them in a cooler, so we got back to the car.
Cozy.
Cozy drinks.
Casually flip.
You see casually flip it?
Yeah, upside down so it gets all the... And then you flip it back up. Oh! And then you open it.